Welcome, listeners, to the best part of Beast Wars Second. Every episode, it's usually the intro. Kind of slaps.
Get my future, da 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 da. Get my future, da 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 da. Get my future. Get my future. Blah 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 blah.
Well, see you next week.
Too much energy.中に生まれたままのこのパワー体中で浴びろ光自然のシャワー何が善で悪で丸め込んでやめろ向かう正義の力生き抜け誰のため逃げちゃダメ全宇宙の平和願ってロボットだってサイバートロンパワーは全開デストロンのメッカ全てこれで破壊心の隅に住むすくむ邪悪な野望見失いかけたすぐそこに希望どんな流れこれでどれも何も勝利への鍵握る今日もいつも立ち止まることはしないだって惑星お守り通す光になって今だ戦いけビースト超生命体トランスフォーマー
Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Too Much Energon. The show where your two hosts talk about Beast Wars shit and talk shit about Beast Wars. Probably more the latter. This is episode 139.
139.
139. Wow. We've been doing this 139 years.
That's how that works.
It certainly feels like it. I'm one of your hosts, NeoCal, and I'm joined by the prestigious Siege. How's it going?
Siege Eterna, as I'm calling
Siege
myself
Eterna.
now.
He's decided.
Yeah.
Mr. Siege Eterna. We decided a while back that perhaps there is not enough Beast Wars Second of substance to review every single episode, and to go forward, reviewing them in 4-episode chunks.
For the sake of our sanity.
Mercifully. And this is the first episode where we are reviewing 4. And it is there's some good and bad from reviewing 4. The good is that we're done faster overall. The bad is watching 4 episodes in a row.
I was just going to mention that the downside to this is we have to watch 4 episodes in a row instead of 1 every week, which I'm not sure which is better, honestly. Being done and over with the show quicker, or having to watch more of it all at once.
It's more painful, but we're thinking of our future selves,
right?
And we'll be rid of it soon.
I'm gonna go all full disclosure here. The second 2 episodes I barely paid attention to.
You monster frisbee.
So we review this week on Too Much Energon. We are reviewing episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12 of Beast Wars Second. What's episode 9? The Strongest Tag Team? ? I don't know why that's the name of the episode. I don't remember a tag team in it. And that was one of the episodes.
He would be paying attention.
And that was one of the episodes I was actually paying attention to. Episode 10 is Autorollers Roll Out. You would think with the name Autorollers they would be the good guys, but no, they're Decepticons.
It's a cool name, yeah, but no.
Episode 11 is called Danger, Scissor Boy.
Danger! ! Scissor Boy.
And episode 12 is called Galvatron Rampages. Now, I'm noticing the names of the episodes are slightly different on the TF Wiki than they were on the fan-subbed versions that we watched on YouTube. Because it's the TF Wiki, I'm going to trust their translations more.
Yeah.
than just
Okay.
than the fan translations by anime fan 367 underscore lowercase x uppercase x lowercase x underscore 69.
You see, I um watch it by Cariudo fan subs, which explains why we have uh we've quoted different things, or they've said different things in our episodes.
I just made that name up.
Oh shit. Could have fooled me. Could have fooled me.
No, we mentioned this before, but for a while there was like an HD upscale version of the of Beast Wars Second on YouTube, and it didn't have hard-coded subtitles, but YouTube would automatically translate it. Now,
Yeah.
those versions are unfortunately gone, and we're left with the crappy low-res fan-subbed version. So, it is what it is.
What are you gonna do, baby?
What you gonna do, brother? Oh yeah.
Right, brother?
What was
Scissor Boy dropped some Macho Man energy in one of them.
yeah, I think it was episode 11.
Danger, Scissor Boy.
Someone
Episode 11, yeah.
yeah, someone says, that's right, we're brothers, brother. Exclamation
Yeah,
mark.
Scissor Boy is trying to be friends with the Autorollers, and they're like, "We're taking you hostage." And he's all like, hey, oh, no, I want to join you. He's doing anything to save his own skin. And he's like, we're brothers, brother. And I just
Listen
picture
here,
him
kid,
being,
this ain't a fucking game. Get in the trunk of the fucking car.
"You're our hostage. Now go and wrestle Tasmanian Kid, and we'll watch from afar. But we got a sniper trained on your position. So you do any funny business, we're going to shoot you."
You do any funny business, and, you know, the only one's gonna be laughing is me, you see?
You'll be sleeping with the fishes, Shay. And I don't understand why they didn't just shoot. Also, why are they afraid of missiles? Sometimes, and then other times they like get blown up by missiles like 10 times, and they're like, "Oh, I'm almost defeated." I don't know. Who knows, man?
Who knows? Who cares? Not me is applicable to both.
So the strongest tag combination
Is always going to be Optimus Lion and Gary Primal in that Beast Wars animated movie that we reviewed a million years ago.
clearly. Oh, right. They watch like they're invited to a. Okay, so the gist of the strongest tag combination is Starscream decides to throw a tea party for the Insectrons.
Yep. By
And it's
giving
well
them the
known that
strongest oil.
Transformers. It's well known that Transformers love oil. Oh yes, oh yes, and but this is the strongest oil.
Yeah, this is the strongest oil, so it means serious business. So
But they're not
Starscream,
present during the tea party. They just like leave it for them.
yeah, Starscream delivers the strongest oil and like a table and chairs and everything for some reason to the Insectrons.
Don't join them. And then
Well,
at first I was like, aren't they trying to recruit them? But they're not. They're pretending to want to be their friends, but they want to destroy them.
yeah, because
Yeah.
making them think that they're friends will somehow destroy them more quickly than just straight up attacking them.
And indeed, BB and the other jet guys are like, "Hey, they're getting drunk on the finest oil you provided. Now's our chance to attack." And Starscream is like, "Wait, my friends, they're going to get so drunk, they're going to get violent and fight each other." And they literally sit back and watch it from afar, like on a big screen or like through binoculars or something like that. And I'm like,
I distinctly
okay.
remember when they deliver all of the stuff to the Insectrons, Starscream Zoom calls in and is like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna have this party, but you know I'm running kind of late because you always got to be late to your own party. But I want you guys to get
A
started
little
without
chibi
me."
version of himself, like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Zoom call. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, but I want you guys to get started without me.
But don't worry, I'll be there. And then the narrator, or is it Artemis?
I think it's
It's
Artemis,
Artemis or something like that. Is like, everyone knows that all Transformers love oil and they can't say no to free oil, Moon. Oh wait, no, it's Moon. That's the rabbit, right? It's Artemis and Moon.
I also skipped
and I'm
over
like, oh, thank God for Artemis and Moon telling me what's going on. Otherwise, I'd never know. They do that a lot.
I skipped
this
over.
This is for 10-year-olds.
I skipped over the anime bullshit while I was watching.
So the whole episode,
all the Artemis and Moon stuff, I skipped over.
It's forgettable. Like in one, I'm amazed that I remember that. Anyways, so they watch, but for whatever reason, I thought he was like buried underground. I guess I missed it. For whatever reason, Uncle Big Brother Galvatron wakes up.
Yeah, just suddenly out of nowhere.
Enter the Drake.
And honestly, I had forgotten about
after
him
being
as a
gone
character.
for like
I had forgotten about him as a character by this point.
You forgot about Oni-chan.
I was like, oh yeah, there's older brother, right? He's been asleep for like the past several episodes, and immediately when he wakes up, he's thirsty. He's thirsty, and he suddenly decides to become abusive drunk dad. He
goes over. Everybody would be freaking out if he was like awake. And he's like, hey, and he looks down. I shit you not. There's like a 12-pack of oil on behind Starscream and everyone else watching, like from afar, laughing at the Insectrons being drunk and shooting each other. And he reaches down, cracks one open, and starts guzzling them, and immediately gets like, they just flat out say that they're drunk, they're intoxicated. And wouldn't you know it, he's a violent drunk.
Yeah, he goes like abusive drunk dad, like right away. They're like,
just starts.
They're like,
shut the fuck up.
Wait, you shouldn't be drinking so much. And he's just like, huh? You little pansy. What? After the day I've had, I can drink a fucking beer if I want to.
Like, who the fuck you think you are? And he slaps Starscream.
Yeah.
Starscream like runs out, and he's all like, enter the dragon, and he turns into a dragon and just starts going insane and attacking the Insectrons and the Destructicons and that's not even what they're called. I don't care.
The Insectrons.
Insectrons and the
Destrons.
Destrons. I'm adding a syllable in there because
I call them the Decepticons because they turn into vehicles. Destrons are what the Decepticons are called in the Japanese G1
Decepticons,
cartoon.
Yeah. And well, wouldn't you know it, who comes to save the day? 2/3. I checked every fucking episode, exactly 2/3 of the way through. Lyle Convoy's music plays, and he comes to save the day. This is why we're rushing through these, folks. There's kind of paint by numbers. I like kind of rage all caps messaged Siege, and I'm like, how many times are they going to be like, oh, I knew to show up because Scuba was in the field and he sent me a transmission. You can't keep getting away with this. But they do. But here's the thing. Not even Lyle Convoy himself can stop drunk Uncle Galvatron in his rampagey drunk mode. Like literally, he's more immune to bullets than he usually is. Except, you know how the Maximals have the Maximal maneuver? What are they called in this? Cybertrons?
The Cybertrons, yeah, they're Maximals.
They're Maximals. The same Cybertrons logo. In this beat him by grabbing his tail,
by pulling his tail
together in friendship. And Starscream,
that for some reason the shock of having his tail like pulled by the joint efforts of the Maximals makes his mouth go agape, and then Lyle Convoy shoots a bunch of rockets into his mouth and they explode.
And then he passes out.
And like falls. He falls into the ocean.
Oh, right. He's always got to like nebulously like be put back into slumber.
And
whenever
the
he's
fact that he
defeated.
falls into the ocean is going to come into play on in the 12th episode because it's the only explanation for something that goes on in that episode, and we'll get to that. I'll
Oh, I
mention it when
must
we
have
get to
missed
that.
that. And what's the outro? I don't know. They all look at this, literally look at the sunset, and they go, wow.
Oh, and
And
G2 Megatron at one point when drunk Dragon Dad falls into the ocean, he's all like, "Ha ha!" And all the other Decepticons look at him and they're like, "Boo!" And he's like, "Oh, no, older brother."
I did think that was funny. He's like, no, Oni-chan,
And yeah, that's pretty much
get
the
my
episode.
future. Do 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 do. Well, that's episode 9.
That we went through that pretty quick. What's next? Auto rollers
Mercifully.
roll out.
Autorollers roll out.
On the TF wiki for the episode, there's a screenshot of like all the auto rollers like putting their hands on top of one another. And anytime I see that, it always makes me think of Married with Children with the whole Whoa Bundy thing. Whoa Bundy. So the auto rollers
They roll up and they get pissed on by Big Moss. And they're like, hey, what's going on? Big Moss, did
Yeah,
you forget that I saved you?
yeah,
And we
Transketo
enter-
is like jizzing all over them.
Yeah. And there's a flashback to, I don't know, the war.
It never
A Nom
changes.
flashback. And yeah, there's a Nom flashback. And who's the big yellow guy?
The dragonfly.
No, the truck that spared Big Moss.
Oh,
Yeah, we're the
Auto Crusher.
Auto Crusher. Yes, we are the foremost Beast Wars podcast, and we've never really called any of them by their real names anyway. Auto Crusher.
That's part of the
dump
part of the
truck.
fun. In
The
my
dump
opinion.
truck. Dump truck and Transketo were in the war, and they were in the trenches, and they showed some humanity, and dump truck spared Transketo's life, and he's reminded of that.
Because dump
They were just
truck.
mercenaries.
Because yeah, dump truck is all like, I knew as soon as I saw you that you were a mercenary like me, so I decided to spare you.
A mercenary like me.
War never changes.
Do you hear that, Snake? We are the same. Snake, you have to use grenades. Well, there's our weekly insert of Metal Gear.
Jack, do you remember when I found you as a young boy on the battlefield? I took you in and raised you like my own.
I was trying to prompt you for that one.
I love Solidus. Solidus is like the most underrated and most done dirty by villain in all of the Metal Gear franchise.
Also the most jacked.
Also, he actually he's like one of the only villains in that franchise that doesn't have like a cartoon supervillain plot. Like I actually like kind of get what he was doing.
What was his deal again?
His plan was to use the big shell to.
Sorry, I'm scratching myself all over. I'm like allergic to allergies.
He had previously been the figurehead president of the United States, but the United States was actually being controlled by the Patriots. And he knew what the Patriots AI was doing, like through like media manipulation and trying to like influence like public, like how basically influence social evolution through media manipulation. Kojima was writing about this shit in 2001. It's amazing how like just like on the fucking money he was with this.
Every once in a while, one of us will share like a clip from Metal Gear Solid 2 and talking about like the little like codec moments of little like revelations codec moments. um Explaining to like Raiden or like Snake like what's going on. And man, that shit. Oh man.
Most of it was basically prophecy.
Yeah,
Like I'm like
honestly, it blows my mind.
like Kojima like somehow like can just reach through the time stream and just like knows what's going to happen 20 years from now.
Yeah, the social media manipulation in 2001. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Like the
Yeah, folks, if you can stand
MySpace?
if you can stand how like dated the graphics are at this point, I highly recommend like going and playing through MGS2. It's kind of a trip. But
Yeah, play Twin Snakes. Or no, Twin Snakes is
that's the remake of MGS1.
that's the remake of
Sons of
1.
Liberty is MGS2.
Right.
But yeah,
right.
so what Solidus was trying to do was he was using the big shell to launch and detonate a nuke in orbit above New York to destroy the Patriots' AI, so they wouldn't be able to continue putting this plan of theirs into motion. It's not a like
As far as Metal Gear Solid goes, that's the least.
that's not really like a cartoonish like goal at all. Like I've always, even back then, I was always like, I didn't agree with his methods, but I kind of understood where Solidus was coming from. That's why he's my favorite villain.
Want to free the people.
Yeah.
Selling me on it, yeah.
And yeah, he dies at the end of that game, and he gets reduced to being a body double for Big Boss's corpse in MGS4. And it's like, really? You keep bringing...
right.
You keep bringing back Liquid. You keep bringing back Psycho Mantis. Like...
Homies can't bring back Solidus.
You gotta just relegate Solidus to being a body double for Big Boss's corpse. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's our Metal Gear podcast.
Yeah, as always. So that was episode 10 of Autorollers Move Out.
Yeah, what even?
So the gist of this one is that Big Moss, Transketo, if you will,
Yeah.
There's some heart in this one because he feels like he owes a life debt to Dump Truck,
Right.
but their leader, Queer Mantis, says to him, I understand the past can be complicated, but you need to live for what you need to, the actions you need to take in the present, you need to be able to live with in the future. For once, that is the best piece of advice, because every episode, there's usually the stupid thing inserted. They're like, huh, like you always say, Lio Convoy, insert something that he's never said before that's like the life lesson of the episode.
Or
And
Lio Convoy will show up like 2/3 of the way through the episode and just start giving Sage, go on this weird like monologue where he's giving like Sage advice like about something completely meaningless.
Or that's kind of, it's like, oh, I guess that's
I'm gonna
good wisdom. It's kind of common sense. But I really like what Queer Mantis said to Transketo, and he was like, here's the thing. The past, I understand you want to pay him back and side with him because you owe him something, but you need to be okay with what actions you do in your future.
Right.
And
you need to get your future, if you will.
Yeah. And he turns against him because there's a back and forth. Oh, are they bad guys? Are the Insectrons good guys? Oh, what are we going to do? And it's like, you know what? You guys are trying to destroy the planet, harvest its angle moist, its angle slam, if you will. That means you're our enemies because we just want to defend the planet and live in peace. And Dump Truck is like, oh, is that how it's going to be? Even though I spared your life. And he's like, well, you know, now we're even. Because he went down, saved Dump Truck by like pulling him away from missiles. And he's like, there, now I saved your life. We're even. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, nobody's died from missiles in this show. They've been hit like so many times. Not a single person has ever died or succumbed to their wounds from missiles. In fact, you can dodge them pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sorry, I got distracted reading something.
yeah, it was because small time Gary, if you will. I'm gonna call him. Yeah, I'm gonna call I can't even remember his name.
Apache.
Apache small time Gary.
Gorilla
Small time
Man.
Gary is gonna die. Gorilla Man, if baboon. Baboono.
Well, his the
Baboontron.
American name for the toy was Baboom.
Right. Right.
Baboom.
Yeah. Baboom.
Baboom. And
Um, he's gonna die at some point, and he intervenes, and he's like, "But I'm also not gonna let you destroy the Maximals." And the Maximals stand with the Insectrons, and they're like, "We'll fight with you." And the Insectrons are like, "This is our fight." And for some reason, Dump Truck and the other auto roller is like, "How about we go and fight where the Maximals can't interfere?" And they're like, "Okay." And they fly off into a cave where they're like, "Wait, you can't shoot missiles in here. The whole place will collapse." And so Auto Crusher is like, "Oh, I guess we're going to fisticuffs then." "Oh, I guess it's an old fashioned wrestle, huh?" Yeah. Put them up.
put those dukes up and let's engage in a good old fashioned
I'm going to feed
battle
you.
royale.
Oh, I'm going to feed you a knuckle sandwich. And so they wrestle. The Maximals try to follow. They can't. Tasmanian Kid comes out of nowhere as he does. Pops his head out of a hole, and he's like, "I found them." Snarf, snarf. They're over. He does kind of look like Snarf. Huh? I just realized that. And they go to like interfere or whatever. Meanwhile, I would argue, the only cool characters episode to episode are BB and Starscream. They're like, "Hey, now that they're all inside, let's blow up the cave and kill them all.
Speaking
That
of
way we'll get the auto
Starscream,
rollers out of our hair." And I'm like, wait. When did you guys want to destroy the auto rollers?
I have questions about Starscream when we get to episode 12.
Me too.
Because his personality like changes dramatically in that episode. Suddenly he
Right?
becomes a dandy.
Yeah. So despite the fact that there's like 3 Maximals and like 2 Insectrons, the 2 auto rollers come out of the cave. Everybody survives the cave in.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, we'll let you guys go for now. There's 2 of you and like 6 of us, bro.
For now.
For now." And Lio Convoy looks out in the sunset, and we joke about this, but every fucking episode ends with them looking out to the sunset. And they go, "You know what? Those auto rollers, they're too good to be our enemies."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And the Insectrons are like, "Well, see ya."
well, see you later.
Well, see you later. And that's episode 10. Auto rollers move out.
And so, episode 11, Danger, Scissor Boy.
Danger, Scissor Boy.
What is Scissor Boy? This is the episode. So, folks, I'm going to say this on air because I said this to Cal already over Discord. Eventually, Tasmania Kid decides that he's going to bring flowers. To pick some flowers and bring them to give them to the Insectrons. And I said to Cal, I was like,
as a peace offering or to make friends.
This show is fucking
He said
stupid.
to me, he was like, "You know what? That Tasmanian Kid, wish he wasn't so much of a sissy." No, he was like, this show is bringing him flowers and he's walking on 2. He's bipedal now, and I think it showed him be bipedal before. I don't care.
I guess I've just never noticed, but yeah, suddenly he's bipedal, like when he's in Tasmania devil form, and I'm like, why?
Why? It's so he could hold flowers like a maiden.
And then, like at another one of the episodes, he's just like, I think he's walking with like Bighorn or like Lyle Convoy or someone, and yet he's just walking like a person in his beast mode.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I guess you can do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was at this moment where I just finally like said it outright. I'm like, this show is fucking stupid.
And it keeps cutting to this whole like, will they, won't they? Are they our friends? Aren't they? You've milked that too many episodes.
Oh yeah. So there's no mystery surrounding you can't really do that anymore because now there's no mystery surrounding the Insectrons. We know who they are and what they're all about. You can't keep
they hang out assembling parts and like being accountants.
Oh, yeah. There's this one scene where I think it's Scissor Boy or one of them, I don't know. But he's working with his
the earwig and the centipede guy.
He's working with his hostility detector, which is another thing where I'm like, this show's fucking dumb.
The hostility detector, yeah.
But yeah, like the way he's like working on it and like he pulls like a lever, like he looks like he's an accountant, like using like an old
timey accountant using that little
an old school.
He's got
like,
the visor on and or like a bookie.
Yeah.
That's the thing they pointed at. They pointed at Bighorn, and it turned into an infinity symbol.
Yeah.
At one point, Scissor Boy gets found by some auto rollers, and they're like, "You're gonna be our hostage." And he's like, "Well, what are you talking about? I'm your friends. I thought you guys wanted to recruit us. Like, I'll do anything for you, brother. I'm your brother.
Brother.
Yeah, brother." And they're like, okay, you want to be our brother? Hey, see that sissy kid down there collecting flowers? Go kick his ass if you want to be one of us. If you want to be a tunnel snake and get one of our leather jackets, you got to go beat up Tasmanian. You got to go beat up Tazzy and take his lunch money.
Yeah,
Tazzy boy. Take his lunch money. And so he does. And it's like, oh, and by the way, we're aiming a missile at you. And if you get up to any funny business, that's it. And again, I keep saying this. Is one missile ever a danger to like anyone in the show? But he goes along with it and he goes and tackles Tazzy. And he's like, oh, I was picking flowers for you.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, and he's like, shut the fuck up. Listen to me.
He's like
holding me hostage.
He's like, sorry, man. Those guys over there, they really want those sweet kicks you're wearing.
They really want your sweet roll. And I want to.
And if it's
got to find a way out of this, so just play along. Oh no! Oh, time to give him a swirly. So playing along is also becoming a hostage. So the auto rollers now have Tazzy and Scissor Boy hostage, and they're making them march in front of them, holding their hands up. And they do that stereotypical thing where they're like whispering to each other. And I'm like, the guy's right behind you. How can he not hear you? So yeah, they're taken hostage. Where the fuck is everyone else? Doesn't matter. I'm sure Scuba will send a transmission because he's always out scouting by himself. And wouldn't you know it? 2/3 of the way through,
Lio Convoy shows up.
Lio Convoy's gonna make an appearance.
Singing "Get My Future," and the auto rollers are like, "Oh shit, it's Lio Convoy. He's had a few too many, and he's in full karaoke mode. Let's get out of here."
He's in karaoke mode. Let's get the fuck out of here. One of them is called Power Hug.
Best to just leave him alone and not bother him.
Yeah, wait until it wears off. That's it. Yeah. The rest of the Maximals come and save them. I wish I could tell you there was more to it than that, but not that. This is a bad one. If the others sounded a little interesting, this one's not.
Scissor Boy, as like a peace offering to the Maximals, he gives like an entire like MO disc full of data on the auto rollers,
which they have for some.
Yeah, for some reason. I think
the auto disc, yeah.
Yeah, the disc with info on the auto rollers, which I guess they would have because like they fought them in the war back in the day.
Right. Okay, yeah, that sure.
So Scissor Boy gives that to Tazzy Boy, as like a peace offering to the Maximals. He's like, here's everything we have on the auto rollers. Give this to your people.
Little do they know, it's just 50 megabytes of Transformers hentai. Uh,
Please, it's not hentai. It's like tasteful boudoir
tasteful. That's right. Tasteful boudoir.
boudoir photos of like dumb truck being all like in cheesecake poses.
How many thick white chick friends did you have that were boudoir models
In the
in the early
2010s?
2010s? Jinx, you knew exactly what. Wow, so that was a thing.
That was a thing. Lots of chicks I knew did that in the like mid to late.
Oh, how many
2010s.
kept up with their modeling? Oh, what, zero? None of them? Oh, strange.
None of them. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a weird jab, but none of them, huh? Even though they were building their portfolio for free. Strange.
Building their portfolio by paying a like wannabe photographer to take photos of them in lingerie,
or just letting a creepy dude with a Facebook that calls himself a
yeah.
Like 2 or 3 chicks I knew, real short. Powder Puff Vixen Photography. That was like all the chicks in like Nanaimo and Campbell River and Victoria. Local talk. Were like getting this like 50-year-old that decided he wanted to photograph like young chicks in lingerie. They weren't great.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. FF moved on.
I was about to say basically all they were doing was just giving this like middle-aged man free fap material.
And the people that followed his page.
That's true.
And that was episode 11 of Danger, Scissor Boy. I mean, we were done. Yeah. That one was not a good. That was not a good one. That was.
You know what's also
such
not a good
episode.
one is it's not a good one, but it is certainly more memorable. Is episode 12 of Beast Wars 2nd, Galvatron Rampages.
This one, at least something is happening.
That's true. This doesn't really follow the same typical formula, with the exception of Lyle Convoy showing up out of nowhere 3/4 of the way through
on
the
cue,
episode.
exactly 2/3. And the last one was about half, a little bit over half, but this one exactly 2/3. But he doesn't save the day. They just kind of show up and then get their butt kicked and then have to work together. So at least it's moving away from Lyle Convoy single-handedly saving the day.
So this episode I can actually talk about with some degree of detail. So the auto rollers are like in a cave, like doing some work, and they decide that
they follow orders, you know, they're good Destrons.
But they decide that they're going to turn on the Decepticons and like go their own way or take over. I can't remember.
You can go their own way. They're planning something. At the 5-minute mark, there's a really funny moment where Scuba, who can drill, goes through and he comes out in a cave, right? And he says, "Oh, for another 5 minutes, I would have been a boiled squid." And the camera just lingers on him standing there. And he turns to the left and looks. And he turns to the right and looks. And he turns back forward. And then he awkwardly just moves off screen. And I actually laughed out loud that for like 10 solid seconds, it just shows this like giant awkward like squid dude in his like robot form be like, huh? Here I go. And just like in complete silence. And I'm like, I don't know why I thought that was funny.
So the Destrons are like planning to like take over. And so their plan that they hatch is, because they've been drilling for all the angle slam energy, that they're going to spill that, like just blanket the entire continent with all of this like excess angle slam energy to destroy both the Destrons and the Insectrons. This is their plan.
Oh, no, I thought it was Starscream's plan to sabotage the pipe system to destroy the auto rollers and the Insectrons.
I think it's both.
There was a triple cross. There was a double.
So
Okay.
the auto rollers want to use the angle slam energy to get rid of the Insectrons and the rest of the Destrons, and then Starscream wants to sabotage their plan and turn it against them.
That Starscream. So he's trying to spy the Scuba,
Yeah.
Squidman, if you will, Octosquid, and one of the auto rollers comes up behind him, and he's like, ha, "Foolish me for letting the enemy sneak up on my rear." And then, just like comic book, he's chopped in the head and knocked out.
Yeah, and then he wakes up and he's tied to a chair, and he looks to his left, and
Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel starts.
Well, I was gonna say when he wakes up, he's like chained to a chair, and he looks to his left, and there's a TV screen, and the TV screen just mysteriously turns on, and there's a little like creepy puppet riding around on a like
Dun, 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 dun.
on a bicycle, and the puppet stops,
And the head turns,
and he's like,
"Hello, Scuba.
hello, Scuba.
I'd like to play a game." Dun, 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 dun. And then a TV flickers. And then Scuba like touches his face, and he's got this big contraption on his face. And then the camera whips around 13 times in like 5 seconds and shows different angles.
Hello, Scuba. Attached to your head is a armed device that will detonate in exactly 75 seconds. You can think of it as a reverse bear trap.
Think of it as a reverse bear trap. The key is hidden inside a very familiar face. And then it shows an x-ray of his anus pop up on the screen. Da, 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 da. Take this rusty spoon. Do you have what it takes to survive?
If you want to survive, you have 75 seconds to learn how to fist yourself.
Dun, 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 dun. These movies write themselves. And Scuba's like, joke's on you. I already have the key. What? Wait, what?
Joke's on you. I already fisted myself twice this morning.
Since this conversation, I've already found the key. Click. I'm bringing this home. Wait, that's expensive. Bring it back. Dun, dun, dun. Unfortunately,
Get your own sex toys. You can use my promo code from adamandeve.com.
it's Saw. It's Saw, capital I, like Saw 2, but like Roman numerals.
Saw second, if you will.
Saw second. The sauciest Saw. Saw second, Saw's return. Saw second, the return of Saw.
Saw second, pass the sauce.
Pass the Saws. Saw second, another Saws. Oh, Saw 3, seesaws. I've seen almost. Apparently, there's one I missed. I was gonna brag and say I've seen every single one, which is a feat, an undertaking. But,
Yeah, there's 10, 11 of them now.
And well, there's Saw, there's Jigsaw. There was like X. Fuck, I can't remember.
Well, X
I
is
can't remember.
Saw 10.
Yeah.
Because
then there's another one that's a prequel that I watched, which was pretty fucking good, actually.
that one with Chris Rock, Spiral, from the Book of Saw, is
That's the one I missed.
It's considered Saw 9, apparently.
Okay, I missed that one. I did not see Spiral. Is that good?
I have no idea.
In terms of Saw, I mean, the bar is low for me. Some of them are very bad, but
I've heard it's not good, but I haven't seen it myself.
The flashback one, because it's all about like the John Kramer starting to become Jigsaw. That had no right being that good. Really liked that one. I was like, hell yeah, Saw's back, baby.
Saw 11
in Pog form
is coming out next year.
Fuck yes.
So
hell yeah.
There's 10 of them.
I'm unapologetic. Like from day one, I've seen I've seen them in theaters if I can. They've long stopped coming out in theaters, but
No, they're still coming out in theaters.
are they?
They've all been released theatrically. None of them are direct to video.
Some of them are bad. Like I can admit that as a
I
Saw fan.
I have only seen the first three.
Those are good ones. Good time to stop.
Yes. Yeah, I gave up on it because, well, around the time, shortly thereafter, I went through a period where I just really didn't have it in me to watch horror movies. So I kind of stopped. And I was like, well, Saw 3, spoilers for a movie that came out almost 20 years ago now. But Saw 3, Jigsaw dies at the end. And I'm like, well, the villain's dead, so.
Well, I can't see where they can go with this one. And they're like, oh fuck, we just got rid of like the only actor holding this show together, this movie together, this franchise together.
But those first three were written by Lee Winnell, who also starred in the first one. He was the other guy in the room that wasn't Cary Elwes.
Yeah.
He has gone on to become a pretty incredible filmmaker in his own
right. I think have we ranted about
I'm
this?
sure I've talked about this,
Yeah.
but yeah, his 2018 film Upgrade is fucking great. I've seen that movie probably like 10 times now.
Yeah, you really liked that.
I love that movie. I still love it. Yeah, he wrote and directed that. He wrote and directed the 2020 Invisible Man movie,
which you also really like.
It's very good.
I still need to see it.
It's very, very good. The only thing I will say about that movie, though, is you have to just be willing to put aside. You have to be willing to put aside the fact that the plot falls apart if you consider that there are security cameras basically everywhere where people could just watch footage. I know because I've heard like literally like 6 people bring that up. Oh, what about like security cameras like when they're in the restaurant? And I'm like, you gotta kind of just go with it.
You gotta go with it.
And apparently his next movie that he has written and directed is a reboot of The Wolfman.
No shit. I like him. I like his movies. So what the fuck were we? Oh, right. Steelers
right.
Wheels Stuck in the Middle with You is playing, and they like take out a little knife, and
we got so into the bit that we got sidetracked and forgot what we were talking about.
right. But he ends up kind of saying some true to them, and they stop their dance. Clowns to the left of me, Joker's on the right, and a record scratch happens, and he's like, hey, because Scuba's supposed to be like the sagely one in the Maximals, right? And he's like, those who control the angle moist energy will be the ones who shall determine the outcome of the Battle of Gaia.
He has so much wisdom that when Lio Convoy, the leader, and the other Maximals show up, Lio Convoy asks Scuba what the plan is. And I'm like, you're the boss here. What?
Not even the boss. You're like the guy.
You're the leader here. Like what?
Yeah.
And you're just asking like one of your underlings, okay,
yeah, I
what
noticed
do we do?
that.
It's like that's not how
And
that
he's like,
works.
yeah, and even when he's like being restrained with the reverse bear trap, Scuba's like, all the other Destrons can do is fight. But the Autorollers, they build the type of heavy work that can only be done by the Autorollers. You build the Destrons' battle fortresses. But if you stopped building their battle fortresses, then you could stop the war.
Yeah.
They're nothing without you. And they're like, yeah, fuck Starscream and Galvatron. Hey, get this guy to be our union rep. Like they kind of are like, hey, I kind of like this dude. he sounds appreciative of us, and I'm like, so my man.
they agree with him, but they still decide to go through with their plan anyway, and so
they still cut off an ear, and before they
and
on the surface, little do they know. On the surface, Starscream and BB are up to no good.
They're up to no good, making trouble in the neighborhood. Starscream is like doing these weird, like dainty dances when he's talking.
He's being Genki. He has very big Genki energy. And like putting his leg up in the air.
There's even a screenshot of him like with his hands like this and like one of his legs like curled up
on BB.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
he's a power bottom of the duo.
I'm like, this is very uncharacteristic behavior for Starscream. We've never seen him
I remember
act
that
like this before. Also, his voice is a lot. Like, he used to have like a deep like voice and always would be like, BB, do this,
BB, we have to go through with our plan, blah 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 blah, Roger.
And now he's just all like,
same voice actor, it's just
he's given a very different
gleeful
performance. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, just dancing around in
quickly
weird poses.
BB, open up the pipe, it's time for us to release the angle slam. And
I'm like, did the writer of this episode suddenly get amnesia?
Yeah, who is this? Eric Burnham? Right.
Right.
Editor, cut that out.
That's great. Did Eric Burnham run this?
Yeah, because it kind of feels like whoever wrote this one wasn't sure what Starscream was like at all.
Yeah. Yeah, so they
Starscream's not really a coward in this.
Yeah.
In this show. And in this one, he's, like you said, a dandy man.
Yeah, he's
Genki,
very dandy. Dandy and
rest
dainty.
in peace, Autorollers. He says, looking at his hand.
And just imagine him being like, oh, oops, I pushed a button and now you're gonna die.
I pushed a button. Maybe she's born with it.
I pushed a button. I'm such a bad little boy. That's kind of how he's acting in this episode.
And BB's like, I'm glad no one else is around to see this. And he's like, oh, shut up, you big old queen. Now let's get out of here.
And BB's like, Starscreams, please, you're scaring the straights.
You're scaring the straights. And Starscream looks around and he's like, nobody straight is watching this cartoon. And you know what? He wouldn't be wrong.
He's not
because
wrong.
In the year of our Lord 2024, we're the only ones.
That's true.
Oops, I pushed a button. I'm so naughty. That's fucking hilarious. The power bottom that he is in the relationship. There's always that like short man. You know what's funny? I worked with these two. I liked them because they were like, they didn't take any shit from management. Yeah. But there were two guys that worked at my old place of work that were very openly like gay, older couple. Zero shits, right? Like they had to live through being gay in the like fucking 80s, right?
Yeah. They've seen it all.
And they've seen it all. And yeah, the short, like super fucking aggro one.
I've seen bottom, shit if you that'll will. Turn you straight.
I've seen shit that'll turn you white. Turn you straight. Where was I going with that? Anyways, it reminds me of Starscream and BB in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bigger, like fit, like taller one just going along with, and like the really outspoken, like aggressive, like short one. And this episode reminds me of that. I should message them on Facebook and be like, hey, how are you guys? I left that place too. I was tired of working for the man.
And now I work for no man.
And now I work for no man, including myself. I make no money. What has even happens? So the Angle Moist is coming for him. X gonna give it to you.
What Starscream and BB do?
Oh, by the way, Angle Moist is lava,
basically.
I guess.
So what they shut off like one of the valves to one of the pipes that
They open
makes,
it up. They
that
try
make
to flood everyone.
that makes it so like pressure is building up or something, and they're gonna it's gonna like explode with
Explode or
angle
something.
slam energy, and Scuba and the auto rollers are all gonna die. And they're like, wait, if we hurry, we can fix this. And so they start doing a bunch of shit.
I like how they don't have enough time to run, but they have enough time to do plumbing.
Basically.
So
yeah.
there's a montage of them. Like, again, one of the better episodes of this show. And they release Scuba, and they're like, "Hey, we're allies for now." And there's a montage of them. We're the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Plumbing's our game.
doing
Making sure the angle moist slam is our game.
there's a montage of them doing the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Do the Mario. Boop, boop, boop. And but unlike the destitute plumbing brothers, they are good at what they do, and they redirect it, but it's still gonna blow up. But then something strange happens.
This is what I was talking about when I said earlier that remember the fact that that Galvatron, when he got blown up in episode 9, lands in the water because it's going to come into play in episode 12, and it does. He is underwater. He's in like,
And one of his forms
it's a drill,
is a drill.
and
And he drills.
he
underwater.
very randomly out of nowhere in drill form crashes into one of these pipes.
Crashes into the pipes where he knows the angle slam is going to come to. And in dragon form, he bites it and pulls it to the surface.
Yep.
And wouldn't you know it, even though this stuff can like destroy the atmosphere and kill everything, he just chugs this thing like Rhinox using a beer hat.
Yep.
It's just like all this like lava. And if you thought it doesn't get wackier, it makes him grow. Like Rita Repulsa just threw her staff
My
down
monster grow.
a lot. Like he becomes what's the word for giant Japanese monster?
Kaiju.
He becomes a kaiju. And they're already big robots, but like to them, like they're small.
And the Maximals show up and are all looking up, and Lio Convoy is like, "All right, let's do it, guys. We need dinosaur power now."
Dun, 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 dun. And except that doesn't happen, and nothing they can do affects him, and you're like, oh shit,
Go Maximals,
we're gonna die.
Go
And,
Maximals.
apparently this is a danger to everyone. Like Starscream and BB are like, oh fuck, I can't believe we've done this. And the auto rollers are like,
they're
fuck.
like, oh shit, Dad fell off the wagon again.
Worse than ever. Ah! And well, wouldn't you know it? How do they beat him? Do they team up with the auto rollers? Do they pull some sort of? Do they bury him? Something like clever like that. They grab his tail. They grab his tail.
No, it was in episode 9 that they grab his tail. What they do in this one,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mixed that up.
they defeat him with his one and only weakness, and we figure out that this is his weakness through sage wisdom delivered by Scuba. What's his only weakness, you might ask? Indigestion.
Upset stomach, diarrhea.
I'm
Pepto-Bismol.
not even joking. They defeat him
Oh,
with gas.
right.
Basically, they defeat him by giving him
How is he
gas.
defeated?
So what Scuba is like, I remember my mother once told me that
If you drink too much angle slam.
if you drink or eat too much, it doesn't matter what it is. It's going to give, no matter how good it is, it's going to give you an upset stomach. And Lio Convoy is like, yes, that's perfect. We're going to give him
Wait,
all the
what did you just say? Something about my grandma? No, the thing before. Upset stomach? You're a genius.
Yeah, we're going to, by God, that's the most genius plan I've ever heard in my life. We're going to
What
give
do you
him
mean?
we're going to make him drink so much ankle slam that he's going to get real sick. And he's going to spend the next 2 days on the toilet, and he won't be a problem for us.
You ever try to drink 6 Red Bull? It's not good, man.
I've drank a lot of energy drinks in a very short period of time. Yeah.
It's not great. And that's how they defeat him.
That is how they defeat him. They feed him all the angle slam energy he could possibly want.
That trope of, oh, so this makes you more powerful? Then I guess we'll just give you too much.
Too much, even.
And he becomes so big, he becomes the second moon. No, what happens to him? He runs to the shitter. I don't know.
Basically, yeah. He gets really, really big and then blows up again. Presumably, he's going to come back.
Yeah. He's a force to be reckoned with. See, I like the idea of this like leader who needs to be put into slumber, right? He's buried in the bottom of this lake or lagoon. Oh, geez, where is he? Oh, he's back. There's a lot of good ideas here. But because the show is for 6-year-olds, it's never scary or mysterious. Like you said, like when the Insectrons and their goals were mysterious, like why was Queer Mantis in an Aztec pyramid? Pretty cool. Has nothing. We never find out.
No, and
that's their base.
They don't even seem to live in that Aztec pyramid anymore because we never see them.
They're just in a different cave. Yeah. That was that one episode. That was his goon cave. That was just Queer Mantis's goon cave. Don't disturb me. This is my goon cave.
I'm busy.
I'm busy. Don't pan the camera down to see what I'm actually doing. Have you ever come just from slapping your dick? It's called tantric sex. Maximals.
Remember the movie Bruno from Sacha Baron Cohen?
Unfortunately.
Straight up a close-up shot of his crotch where he's naked and just swinging. He's helicoptering his dick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went and saw
I like to think that's actually his dick.
It probably isn't. But I don't know. With that guy, though, you never know.
That's what I mean with Sacha Baron Cohen. He'd be all like, no, it would be inauthentic if it was a stunt dick.
Yeah. But I remember I went and saw that movie with a whole group of people and like it was all like guys and they were all like, oh, and there's me just laughing.
Laughing? Yeah, I was laughing. I went on a date. That was not the movie or at least not the type of girl. It didn't go well. So I was like laughing at a few things here or there and they weren't a fan.
So what you should have done if you wanted to get laid was taken her to see The Mist, because I did that on a date in 2007 when that movie was in theaters, and let me tell you, I went the full 9.
Nice.
It's so funny to think back on it too, because like she had wanted to go see something else, and I'm like, no, I want to see The Mist.
Do you remember what else?
I can't remember. It was like some rom-com or something. She'd be like, "Oh, this like this other movie. It'll be a really good date movie." I'm like, "I want to go see The Mist. Like, let's go see that." And she's like, "Oh,
I'm putting my foot down. We're watching The Mist."
And she was like, "Oh, okay." She didn't even want to watch the movie. It scared the shit out of her. Bawled her eyes out at the end. So did I. To be fair, I always cry at the end of that movie.
I was like, ha!
But yeah, still got laid.
Doesn't matter, had sex. Okay, listeners, you're watching Brokeback Mountain. It's kind of boring, some cowboy movie. You never heard anything about it before you go see it in theaters. Okay, okay, picture if you will, right? Girl you're with, bored, gets handsy, starts, doing some stuff to you with their hand. Boom! Spontaneous gay sex starts happening. What do? Stay hard from the chick touching your wiener. Finish to the big screen of Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger.
Or just embrace the fact that like both of those things are giving you a boner.
Or embrace it and go, huh, quite a story. And mutually nut alongside the characters of the movie. What do you come back? How do you come back from that? What's going through your mind? Hypothetically, this is all hypothetical.
Like how you like look around. Anyone listening?
Speaking. Hypothetically speaking. Oh fuck. What was the
You know, I don't mean to sound like a queer or nothing, but I think you got a really nice ass.
I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing. For a man, you got a really nice ass. There's a joke I haven't heard in like forever. I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but it's a nice fucking dick.
I haven't seen Orgasmo in like probably like at least 15 years now, probably longer.
2005 for me. Did it even? Yeah, it was out before then. Yeah,
it came out in the late 90s. I think it came out in like 98 or something, like 97.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't see it till like I saw it once, and it was like 2005, I think.
I kind of wish those guys would go back to making movies and not just like,
honestly
beating the dead horse that is South Park.
And some newer episodes are like actually like really funny, but a lot of it isn't for me. I have a friend who's like, "Oh, you got to watch this season. It's great." And I started watching it and I'm like,
a lot of
kind of meh.
A lot of modern South Park's humor is very much like coming from the place of like middle-aged guys being like,
it's now how do you do
the dumb things
kids
that kids are into these days, am I right?
There's an episode with Airsoft.
Yeah,
there's like an Airsoft episode, and they're of the age where it's like, how do you do, fellow kids? And they need to go back to movies.
Yeah,
just like dumb, stupid, like fucking movies. And hand the keys. Let someone younger close shop. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like find some like-minded like people or whatever, because like it's, instead of it being social commentary about what's going on, it's almost social
old man
commentary on kid.
It's
old man humor.
Old man yells at cloud.
You're right. extra old man yells at cloud. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I couldn't properly word my problem with modern South, and it's not even like it's bad, it's just it's lost its trying to go back and watch South Park is like interesting because the beginning is very bad. 11 to 13-year-old me, probably loved it at the time. It's kind of unwatchable. Hey, you guys, I'm not fat, I'm just big boned. Shut up, Cartman. I can't. It's fucking bad.
Yeah, it hasn't aged very well.
There's middle chunks, certain episodes from certain seasons that are great. I love anything with the goth kids.
Also, the South Park movie. South Park movie is quite good still.
Quite. Yeah. But like they're musical writers at heart. And I'm not saying that, you know what we need? We need another Team America World Police like round 2. Right now would be perfect. I want to see Puppet Trump. Hey, hello. Like, and you know how they did Kim Jong-il?
Yeah.
Now they can do Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. I need to see.
I'm all for that.
I'm for that.
Well, here's another thing
to that in
too,
theaters.
and I think it's one of the big problems also with modern South Park. This is our South Park podcast now.
Everything but whatever the fuck is. Oh, we were done anyway.
We were done.
Right, indigestion.
Yeah. Real quick. The point I was going to make was they don't have that youthful edge anymore. They don't have the passion of youth. Like
the passion of youth.
No, I'm serious. Like
I'm agreeing.
Like,
sorry, there's an anime character in Naruto. There's a character in Naruto that says the power of youth.
Think about like your favorite author. Chances are, and you think about, what's their best books? Chances are it's stuff they wrote early in their career. Think about all your favorite
Stephen King.
Think about all your favorite bands. What
They
are
were
their
all kids.
What are their favorite what are your favorite albums of them? Chances are it's probably their first, second, or third album that they made when they were like
Scientific breakthroughs.
in their late teens or early 20s. Like
Newton was like 17 when he when he like released his first like set of like the laws of motion or whatever that was called.
yeah, and I mean this may be hard for some people to accept because like we're all getting older and like our audience is roughly
I feel like you and I are
our-
shockingly self-aware of this because everybody wants to go, kids eating their Tide Pods, am I right?
yeah.
Yeah, let's high five. We're never that dumb. You were. Fuck off. You were. You pissed through a fence and you like did dumb shit like jumped over and you did it all.
Most
You
of
did
the
it all.
like most of the best art, most of the best scientific innovations, most of the best like literary works, like all of that generally comes from people who are young, like late teens, early 20s, early to late teens to
And there's
early to
always
mid-20s.
exceptions.
There's always
Like
exceptions, yeah.
Everyone knows of Picasso after his abstractness came out, but the dude lived most of his life before that.
Yeah.
So when they think of Picasso, they're thinking of him like 50, 60-year-old plus. All of his work as like an old man. And he was like, hey, people love triangles, I guess. But for the most part, throughout human history, sorry, folks, it's young people innovating
Yeah.
in like everything.
The yeah, the world belongs
Yeah,
to
Newton
them.
was like 17 years old when he like published like the laws of motion.
The world belongs to them.
Oh,
Like,
sorry,
it's
he was 17 when he invented calculus. Before, and they didn't have calculators in the 1600s. Well, he had abacuses and stuff,
I
but
was gonna say they had a version. They've had like a version of a calculator since like
yeah,
the times of ancient Greece.
yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, like ancient China, like they've had abacus things for like thousands of years.
mhm.
But yeah, I agree with you inherently, and I'm acutely aware of that. And I
Yeah.
feel like we're a little, we're
We're in the
we
minority.
diverge. We're in the minority of that.
Of people our age with that mindset.
Oh man, I recently he's not going to listen to this. I have a friend who was like, "Oh, like we don't explore space. We don't have probes anymore." Because I was gushing about the Voyager 1 and 2 and how like Voyager 1 or 2 keeps like blinking in and out and sending signals like decades after it was supposed to stop working.
Yeah, that's
Right.
something we both find really cool.
Yeah. And is tied to Beast Wars. And he's like, "Oh, like we never like send probes, we never like do this anymore. Like that exploration period was of the past." And I was like, actually, the first Marv rover was in like this, and like all the 90s rover and like a flying drone we like sent to like we got pictures recently. We visited a comet. Like we've landed like a rover like on a comet to send back pictures. We brought back like asteroid like samples to like, and I ranted about all the different like Martian like rovers and the
Yeah, they've been sending
probes we've sent around
they've been sending rovers
Jupiter.
to Mars since the 90s.
Yeah.
And they still do.
Yeah. That's what I mean, right? And just because you stopped paying attention in like the 80s or the 90s, it's a Gen X friend, doesn't mean that there weren't like innovations. And I just info dumped, like dropped him like 7 paragraphs and he just didn't reply.
Left you on red.
Yeah, left me on red. And then we just like didn't talk for like a day and then just continued sending each other like TikToks. As is tradition.
And you're just like, huh, I win this one.
I win, friend. No, it's just like
no, I know.
To your point of that actually, because you lost your spark of life doesn't mean that like shit keeps turning.
Yeah.
And we do live in the like economically, like now we understand how older people feel like, oh, when the stock market crashes or there's a housing like bubble, because you better start believing in recession because you're living in one. That's right. There's my self-insert Pirates of the Caribbean joke of the month. You better start believing in recessions. Swan, you're living in one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the idea that the world keeps
There'd be no
turning
use
after
in
their-
taxing you see. Not yet.
not yet. There's another fun set of movies I should go back and rewatch. But yeah, inventing
I
calculus
know
when you're
we
17.
did a commentary track for the first one with the stripper lady ages ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like the first one's classic. The next few like always merge for me.
The only
Doing
one
a
that
lot
I
of-
saw that I thought was like truly bad was the fourth one.
What happens in that one? I can't
Something about a
remember if I've
mermaid.
seen it.
They
Right, and they save Jack's life, and because he falls into the water, and
they take that one doesn't have Orlando Bloom or what's her name in it.
right,
That one is
and then they
just-
continued without those two for like one more.
No, just that one. That was the
Just
only
that
one
one?
that didn't have them in it. And then they came back for the next one.
Yes,
Which, that
yeah,
one, Dead Men Tell No Tales, I think is what it was called. I saw it in theaters.
Wow,
It's not
crazy
bad.
memory. I should have a oh, what's that Lonely Island video? Michael Bolton. I should pull a Michael Bolton and watch all the Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, Siege, you just are we gonna do them in a clump or one by one? Or are we just not gonna rate them anymore?
No, we should still rate them. It's not really gonna matter. I'll say overall, all of the episodes together are not enough Energon. Because what? Well, episode 9 and episode 12 are very similar to one another. As is a thing with the Beast Wars second maneuver, if you will.
Is to be like, geez, something bad is happening. Don't worry, Scuba sent a transmission to Lyle Convoy, and he's gonna show up.
But the fact that both of those episodes we set up this big like threat with like Dragon Man, Drunk Dad Dragon Man, and
Oh, good point. Yeah.
the first one they beat him by pulling his tail,
Haha, got your tail.
and the second one they beat him by giving him gas, basically.
They just get him so drunk he passes out.
They give him they give him the shits, and that's how they win the day. So yeah, overall, not enough Energon. I'm kind of sick of being like grading this show on a curve and just no, this show's stupid.
The gloves are off.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, after I watched like episode 1 or whatever, off air, I was like, Christopher, should we review these in chunks or episode to episode? But because we like joking with each other so much, we went episode to episode. But after our break and we came back to this, it was like after just doing the Lasercomb podcast, it felt like a chore. And
Totally.
We don't want it to be a chore for anyone listening.
Which, to be fair, I think in this episode of the podcast in particular, we've had a lot of fun with this.
Also, we've had a lot of I thought we were going to go shorter than usual because we were like chop chop chop, but then there was Metal Gear, then there's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, and here's something that I was thinking about today while I was at work, because I don't usually work. We usually record Mondays now these days, and I don't usually.
Yeah, we're
work
recording
Mondays.
a little bit later than
But,
the usual.
But I did have to work this Monday, but I was able to leave a few hours early. So instead of working a full
Oh,
8 hours, I worked a 5 hour shift. So therefore, we were able
Nice
to
of them.
get some recording in. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know, it hit me. I'm like, I kind of just want to get through these so we can move on to another show, finish up TME, and then like I've been really wanting to do a Highlander podcast, or like we could do something else, but like I just want to get through these
Get something going.
I want to get through these Japanese Beast Wars cartoons so we can and just end this podcast and move on to another one.
But Siege, what about Transformers 1? Or what's it called?
G1. Oh, the movie. Yeah.
Eh.
I don't know.
That's on Beast Wars.
Yeah, and like we did a commentary track for Bumblebee, and that was just because it connected to Rise of the Beast, or they said it was going to. It barely did.
Yeah, well, after having watched both, not really.
Yeah, Rise of the Beast was
Bumblebee
supposed...
is in it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be it was like being billed as a sequel to Bumblebee. It isn't really. It doesn't even like reference anything that happens in Bumblebee.
No, they're basically standalone. Yeah.
And like we did, what was it? Transformers Animated, just because that was Christmas themed, and
Yeah.
it was for a holiday special. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, and we liked that one. Yeah.
That was pretty good, yeah. But I don't know. Transformers 1, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. So if all right, how many can we make it by speed running the rest of these?
I
Like,
think
do you think you have 9 more episodes in you?
I think we can do it.
8 more episodes.
Well, and then we've got Beast Wars Neo after that too, which I say we also do in chunks.
Beast Wars Neo.
That's the one with Big Convoy. I've heard that one is more
It's better.
serialized.
I've heard from.
I've heard it's better.
I've heard it's better. Let's see how many episodes are in that.
There's less, I think.
There is 35.
Yeah, so there's less. That one we could do in like 5 episode chunks.
If we did that in 5, then there'd be 7 episodes.
Yeah. And so what is this? 139? So if we keep doing this in 4 episode chunks, that leaves what, 8 more episodes? So that's 147? 147, and then 7 more after that would be 155?
154.
Or 154. And then, throw a holiday special in there.
And then round it off to 155. I like that we're workshopping this in an episode of see, you could get stuff like this and more if you join the Patreon.
Yes,
Link
because
somewhere.
We tend to like brainstorm things on the Patreon exclusive podcast, the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show.
Oh yeah. But
Well,
now you're getting a sneak peek.
Well, Cal, yeah, I think that's a good way to go about it. And then we just end it on episode 155, and then just being
There we
like,
go.
and being like, there we go. 152 more episodes than your typical indie podcast.
Yep. We did it.
Cal, what are you rating these on the TME scale?
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's a low sufficient amount of energon. It was like there are seeds of things that are kind of good there, right? Scuba just standing there, like looking around and just like awkwardly walking off the screen. Like, are we filming? Huh? Oh, okay. Well, it was like funny, but like I've forgotten 90% of everything that's happened. And I just watched these.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget 100% of what happened in like 2 days. It's because there's no stakes. Whenever they bat heads, they're like, hey, you know what? Like at the end, the Autorollers were like, you know what? For now, we're glad that you saved us, but we have to go our own way.
Oh, and the
They
episodes
walk off into the sunset.
Episodes 9 and 12 both end the same way. They end with with Drunk Dad Dragon Man getting blown up and landing at the bottom of
And
the
the
ocean.
auto rollers.
He ends
And
up
the
at
auto rollers like shaking hands with the Maximals and being like, well, we may be enemies, but god damn it, I respect you.
Yeah. Yeah. So low sufficient amount of energon. I'm just going with not enough energon.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Low, like I wasn't pulling a Burnham and like completely uninterested. I didn't like fall asleep watching it and like and then just pretended I know what's going on. I shouldn't be making these burns about somebody who actually got paid to to do what they do, but well, there it is, folks. We did it.
Well, I mean, he may have gotten paid to do it, but now there are new Transformers comics with the new publisher who has the license now, and I don't see them hiring him.
Unless.
All right, what
are you up to?
What's enemy of the show up to?
I don't remember their handle. Was it Eric with a K?
Yeah.
Don't fucking tag him in this. Anyone listening?
Apparently now he's writing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh God, help us.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Well, good thing he is
employed.
Good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what I was going to say is good thing that we're not doing a Ninja Turtles podcast because that, oh boy, wouldn't be able to escape this guy.
Oh, I didn't realize this. I'm going to send you a screenshot. That's right, live. Does this
color.
look like something in living color? Does this look like something that you would want to watch? I'm sending Siege a very important screenshot. Well, he was the writer of that comic. I'm sure it was great. All right, so you got the orange one, Mikey, right? You like skateboarding.
What did you send me the message on? Because I didn't get a notification for anything.
Oh, whoops. Wrong PM. Wrong guy. Someone else. Well, you know how the newest messages pop to the top?
Yeah.
I didn't realize someone had messaged me. Silly me. There you go. You got the red one. He's got anger issues. You got the blue one. He's the leader. You got the purple one. He's a fucking nerd. And you got the orange one. He's got ADHD.
I mean, I would do a commentary for Patreon for that first live action Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, for the first one?
Maybe even the second one, because I always like the second one too.
I like the second one. It's the second one where they go to ancient Japan.
No, that's the third one.
Okay, so I like the third one too. What's the second one?
The second one is the one with Super Shredder, and where they figure out their origin. It's Secret of the Ooze. And it has, I think, David Warner plays like the doctor who, like, the scientist who invented the ooze.
Why is April so hot? And why are they attracted to her?
Interspecies erotica.
It's called interspecies erotica.
Interspecies erotica, fucko.
There's another good one.
Clerks.
There's a hidden gem.
I like Clerks too a lot. I think it's Kevin Smith's all-around best
I think
film.
it's same. I really like it.
It's kind of where he struck the balance of still like being really funny, but also like being able to tell a fairly like relatable and heartfelt story.
Agreed.
And well, he can't really do either of those things anymore, which is unfortunate, but it just plays back into my point of what I said. All the best art comes from young people.
The future is now, old man. And well, it's time for these two old men to sign off.
Yeah, so that was episode 138 of Too Much Energon. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB. You know the perks. You're either a Patreon subscriber or you're not. And I hope you are, but if you're not, thanks for listening anyway. We still appreciate you.
And if you're not, where's the money? It's only $5.
Join us on join our Discord server. As always, link in the description. Best way to interact with us. We've got quite a few active people on there now, so there's always some kind of conversation going on, often about pro wrestling.
Usually. Not Metal Gear Solid so much.
No. Surprising.
Oddly.
Yeah.
Surprising, yes.
Anyway, do those things. Sign up for Patreon. Sign up for the Discord. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 139 of Too Much Energon, where we're going to be reviewing episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16 of Beast Wars 2nd. And until then, I've been Siege Eterna, one of your hosts.
And it's me, Cal.
Thanks for listening. We'll angle slam you next time.
I'm not angle slamming you. I'm going to wrangle the angle slam, choke it out of a tube, and just spray it all over myself.
You're not going to angle slam. What you're going to do is go for the ankle lock instead.
That's right. Tap. I'm going to go for the ankle. Yeah. Go for the tap. Every time.
All right. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now. Come on now, just like that.
Deep.